Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to go over the Pisces season reading. Kind of late on this. Season has kind of picked me up and pushed me along the whole season, so it's been kind of hard, but I've been, fighting and trying because I really wanted to make this video. I really wanted to put it out there. I've attempted to record it a couple times and it completely deleted, didn't save anywhere, and that was like really annoying, and that kind of put it to the backside because it was starting to get on my nerves. But I'm here now and I want to go over it with you guys after much determination and consistently telling myself every day this needs to be done. I'm finally here and I'm gonna do it. So I want to go back over the year of the rat with you guys. I did it last season. I introduced it and I want to go over it again. I'll probably go over it for a couple of season readings until we get accustomed to the fact that it is the year of the rat, and not only the year of the rat but the year of the metal rat. And that year goes from Saturday, January 25th to February 11th. The last time it was the year of the rat, the metal rat, was 1960. This is the year of new beginnings and renewals, which is like, it means 1,001 things when you think about what's going on with this virus and the new beginnings that's coming from it. Ever since this new year started, things have just been so, we're definitely enduring that new beginning and renewal thing. The rat is the first of all zodiacs, and according to the myth, the Jade Emperor said the order of the animal zodiacs will be decided according to which order the animals arrived to the party that the emperor was throwing. The rat tricked the ox into giving him a ride, and as soon as they were about to come across the finish line, the rat jumped off and he ended up being first. The rat is associated with midnight hours from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. This is when you can usually find a rat. The earth is associated with the earthly branch G, and it's also associated with Yang, which is the beginning of a new day, and that's the white swirl when you're referring to the yin and yang. And that's associated with brightness, passion, growth, etc. This is the sign of wealth and abundance. People pray to the rat for children because, rats can have a lot of kids at one time. Rats are considered clever, quick-witted, and successful, but they're content with quiet and peaceful lives. They are sensitive to emotions but stubborn with opinion. They are kind, but their poor communication skills make them appear rude and impolite. They may either be cheap or so used to hoarding that they may indulge in wasteful spending. The men are creative and clever and have great ideas but lack courage and leadership skills. And the women are traditional, organized, responsible, family-oriented. They both enjoy lavish things and constant social outings, and they don't do well with restrictions and routine. The year of the rat brings opportunities, achievements, success, and abundance to all signs. Be sure that goals are carefully planned. The metal element brings water, which means productivity and activity for metal industries. That means car, IT, tech, health, cosmetic productions, and oh my gosh, I think it's a good thing that I ended up doing this at the end of the season rather than the beginning, because I probably wouldn't have been able to appreciate it as much because I wrote this at the beginning of the season, and the things that are going on right now was not even a thought yet. Like, we have all these things with, the coronavirus is COVID-19, COVID-9, something like that. And, just the renewal and the rebirth that's coming with that. You have all these businesses closing, and it's time to invest in health, which is one of the things I said. Health, IT, tech. We know that IT and tech is associated with health, so it's definitely time to invest in those things right now while they're at their all-time low, because I'm telling you, probably by like the middle of this year, it's gonna, all those people that didn't get a chance to ride the last wave that was like years ago, please, like, this is the year. I feel such a good feeling. Like, I feel so optimistic. I feel like a rebirth and a renewal is happening, and it's unfortunate that it's at the expense of death, but death is rebirth, and that's the circle, that's the cycle, and death isn't like death, because no energy is created or destroyed. So it's nothing to fear. Even when you feel like you're dying in the physical realm, you're being reborn in the spiritual sense. So it is what it is. So moving forward from the metal season, let's talk about Pisces season, which was from February 19th to March 20th, and this is the last sign of the year. So this is the closing sign. The symbol is two fishes swimming in opposite directions, and this illustrates the problem of dealing with conflicting emotions and goals. This also is a representation of one's duality. And if you look on the other symbol, it's like two crescent moons, and then it's like a line going in the middle. So those are your, your two sides, and then line bringing yourself together. So it's a unity of your upper and lower self, if you will, the physical and spiritual self, your subjective and your objective realm. And that's all Pisces season is about, is bringing together the subjective and objective, the physical and the spiritual. And that's exactly what we've been doing this season. Pisces is a water sign. Water signs are sensual and sensitive, artistic, intuitive, and attractive. They're also romantic and cultured. This sign is also associated with the number 2, which is the number of duality, pairs, couples, things like that. The tarot card associated with water is the High Priestess card. This card upright means listening to one's gut feelings, trusting intuition, and looking behind the scenes for truth. This card in reverse is all of the facts are now out in the open, and you should be able to make a decision or find the answer now. Use logic and intuition. If I had to say what card I would give myself as far as the High Priestess, I think that I'm still an upright. I'm still looking behind the scenes for some level of truth with the things that we're enduring in the news, the things I'm enduring in my personal life, or my children and their education. I'm still trying to collect all the facts with that. The other tarot card associated with water signs is the Hanged Man. And upright, it means life is at a standstill. Reflect on the past decisions to bring about change. Be patient and present. It's also associated with Neptune. And this card in reverse, it means great happiness in your current life and circumstances. I kind of feel both sides with the Hanged Man. I think my life is at a standstill at this point, and I'm okay with that because I am using this to reflect and build. This quarantine to put a lot of people at standstill, but don't make that as a time to feel bad or down about yourself. It's time to collect and build and reflect and build. Amethyst is associated with the water sign. Amethyst is a stone of protection against self-deception, guilt, poison, and witchcraft, fear, and it's also a dream stone. Amethyst is a good stone to have on you, especially during this time. There's a lot of deception going on. There's a lot of people walking around carrying their theories or their beliefs or their hypotheses as facts, as things that are actually happening. And it's definitely a time to be able to comb through those things and come out to the other side of it and, be able to decipher what's real and what's not. It's very, very important during these times, especially with social media. It's so easy to get caught up in social media because everybody has their own theories. Everybody has their own thing that they think is happening. And I respect everybody's reality because I feel as though my reality is valid as well. I feel optimistic about what's happening, whether I die or if I live. Either way, I'm feeling optimistic about it. Something good is going to come out the other end of this. You know what I mean? I don't have no fear. Whereas other people, they want to be in fear. They want to believe in the FEMA camps. They want to believe in, a war. They want to believe that they're being targeted. They want to believe in all these things, and their reality is just as valid as mine. So yeah, Amethyst is definitely a stone to have about to be able to comb through the deception and comb through those things. And if you want to check out letsnobodiescollection.com, I got some amethyst pieces in there. And also jade. Jade is also a stone during this time. Jade is a positive energy stone. It's good for wealth, luck, and sharp decision making, which is definitely imperative during these times right now. And what's going on, you want to be able to make sharp decisions. You will definitely need that positive energy. And I have other positive energy stones. If you go on letsnobodiescollection.com, you can check out my other happy stones that I have up there. Moving forward, Pisces is a mutable sign. And mutable signs mediate change and changes their modes of expression frequently. They can be perceived as inconsistent, uncommitted, unreliable, out of touch with reality. But they are in touch with their duality, and they do have multiple points of view. I'm sorry, I keep hiccuping a little bit. So yeah. So the mutable signs are kind of like the adaptable signs. They're always moving, always changing, and things like that. And it can be perceived as negatively someone that's unreliable and inconsistent, but sometimes it's really not. I'm an adaptable sign, mutable sign, Virgo, and I like being able to adapt. I can adapt to any conversation. I can adapt to any crowd of people. I can adapt to, anything that's going on. Like, I collect all the facts and I move accordingly. So many people can interpret that as fake or, whatever, because, you're not being fixated on having one kind of personality trait or one kind of conversation tone to yourself or whatever. But I don't see it that way. I think that's a gift, and I see and I analyze, or I notice people who don't have that gift and how much issues they have with communicating with other people they come across, especially people they don't agree with or people from different walks of life. And I don't want those problems, so I'm perfectly comfortable with where I'm at. Moving on, this Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of success, miracle, expansion of the metaphysical vessel, and one's spiritual ability. Jupiter rules over wealth and business, religion, law, rules, and travel. Thursday is the day that you want to praise Jupiter and your deities or your orishas or, whoever, whatever on Thursdays. And this is the day of prosperity and expansion. Again, you want to rock that amethyst for protection. And lepidolite, that assists with setting goals. It's also a dream stone. It's good for protection from outside influences and it's good luck. The star anise, which is a herb you want to utilize for divine healing and protection. It also increases your psychic connections. The orisha for this time is Orunmila. I apologize for butchering the name. Orunmila. This is the Yoruba Grand Priest, praised for being the most effective. The embodiment of knowledge and wisdom associated with yellow and green mala beads. So on Thursday, if you want to praise and pray for prosperity and expansion, you want to have yellow and green on your altar. You want some jade, some amethyst, some lepidolite. You want to burn some star anise on the altar, and you want to have some type of representation of Orunmila, the Orisha, or also Jango. Jango is a good Orisha during this time too. He is the Orisha of the Thunderbolt, the warrior king associated with masculinity, lightning, stones. He was invoked by those seeking justice. So, you want to pray for justice and things like that. Do that on a Thursday too. Wheel of Fortune is the tarot card associated with Jupiter. This is the card of destiny and fate. If you pull this card upright, fate will take a strong hold of your life and redirect the path that you are on. It could be positive or negative, but it's beyond your control. So you just got to take what's being given to you. And I think that's what's happening right now. A lot of us are losing. We're afraid because we don't have control, and it's okay. Just let go and see what happens. Let's see where this takes us. Trying to maintain control is why we don't have toilet paper in the stores. If you pull this card in reverse, you may have a hard time in this life. This card indicates a change for the better, and everything is on its way up. Violet is the color associated with Jupiter, and this is the color of justice and judgment, royalty and industry, age, wisdom, and spirituality. And also the number 3 is associated with Jupiter, which is the number of creativity. You got the mother, the father, and the child. A plus B equals C. Neptune also rules over Pisces. Pisces is ruled by 2 planets. So you got Jupiter, which is all about law and tradition and kind of like a constricting a little bit, but not as bad as Saturn. But then you come into Neptune, which is all about abstract. This is where we come into the mutable part of the Pisces, the water part of this Pisces that's indecisive and everywhere. I don't know if this is the fish going upward or downward. But this Neptune rules the abstract. The planet has no boundaries or limitations. It controls intuition, imagination, creativity, and art. It assists one in seeing beyond the 5 senses, enlightenment, and illusion. The stones I have during this time is amethyst again, lepidolite. Platinum is a good metal to wear during this time. It helps one to find balance of polarities within the spirit. It enhances the entire chakra system. So that's good. Turquoise is also another good stone to have. It caters to the throat chakra and provides strength, psychic sensitivity, and connection to the spiritual world. This is the symbol of friendship and peace. Olukam is the Orisha of the ocean floor. He is the Orisha of Neptune. His aspect of mysteriousness reflects into the dream time, the subconscious, altered levels of consciousness called upon for financial stability, wisdom, and healing. So that is the Orisha you want to speak to. Neptune doesn't have a day of the week, so honestly, just keep it on a Thursday, because you can get all that done in one day. But that's just me. The Hangman Tarot is associated with Neptune. Upright, your life may be at a standstill, but it's not as bad as you think. Be patient and present. Same thing we got for the water. The fact that Pisces is a water sign, that card is being repeated. And again, Hangman on reverse means great happiness is in your current life and circumstances. So that's what's happening. Again, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is all about expansion, abstract, the imagination, things like that, while Jupiter is about laws and tradition and things like that. So when we look at those two crescent moons of law, tradition, structure, and then expansion and creativeness, and then we think about the line going across and bringing those two planets together, bringing that duality together of the physical and spiritual realm, this objective and subjective line. It's pretty dope how all that is being tied together. And it's pretty dope when you associate the tarot cards with the planets and the signs, because definitely that the High Priestess card definitely applies as far as like trusting your intuition during this time, because your intuition will most likely be at its highest, because you're under the sign ruled by Neptune, and then you have the other planet that rolls over wisdom. The tarot that goes directly under Pisces is the Moon card. The Moon upright tells you to take a deeper look at a situation, because something may not be what it seems. You could be being lied to, and if you pull that card in reverse, it indicates lies and deceptions have taken place. Detach yourself from the person or situation. So a lot of deception, a lot of lies are going on right now, and I think that's a lot of part of the problem. People aren't delivering correct information, and people aren't receiving the information correctly. So, it's time to take a step back. And if you can't get the right information, detach yourself, remove yourself, because why even stress yourself out? Why even? The Knight of Cups is also another tarot card associated with Pisces season. And upright, you are currently being courted or wooed. This card indicates a lover or artistic expression. And in reverse, a person will be flirtatious or deceptive to win you over. Pisces rules the 12th house because it is the last sign of the year. Planets describe a certain process. Oh, and as far as the houses go, the houses kind of describe where the planet is located, and this determines how that planet manifests itself. It shows special areas of everyday life where all of this takes place. I'm going to give you an example in a minute, because I kind of explained that everywhere. But just beneath the horizon, the darkness before dawn governs all things that exist without physical form. We're talking about the 12th house now. It governs all things that exist without physical form, like dreams, secrets, and emotions. Natal planets show one highly intuitive, psychic when placed in this house. So if you have any houses placed in the 12th house, in that space is where you are the most intuitive. Yeah. You're reminded that not all relationships are meant to last. Don't cling on to your relationships. The number 12 is associated with Pisces season, as far as, well, the number 12, because we're talking about the 12th house right now. So we're going to dissect the number 12. And this is the number of completion, authority, and perfection. It is the symbol of the divine, because 1 + 2 = 3. And 3 is the Holy Trinity, and the number of creation and spirituality. When you see 1212 anywhere, beware of those with intentions to hurt you, and work hard for independence. And then there's also a 12 full cycle of existence. So those are the beauties of number 12. 12 being the number of completion, the number of endings, like Pisces season is for the zodiac year. Now, getting back into the houses, because I want to explain it to you, because I kind of don't really care for how I explain it to you. So houses show special areas of everyday life where everything takes place. Your planet describes, like, say, we'll talk about Saturn. So Saturn is a planet. It describes a certain process of what's happening. And we know Saturn rules over your limitations and the rules you set for yourself and your infrastructure. Your sign is where the planet is located, and that determines how the planet is manifesting itself. So I have Saturn, and my Saturn is in Aries. Not me personally, my Saturn is in Capricorn, but Saturn is in Aries, and Aries is known for being vigorous, stern, and irritable, kind of like fighting all the time, kind of. So my limitations and rules are placed on how irritable I am and how vigorous and stern I am. And then we can get to the houses. The houses show special areas of everyday life where all this takes place. So if my Saturn is in Aries and all that is in the 4th house, and the house pertains to family, that means that I'm vigorous and stern and irritable when I'm in my home with my family. That's how I will be with my children. So that's how I explain that in a nutshell. So moving forward, how am I moving forward? Hold on a second, guys. So, Pisces rules the number 7. 7 is the number of good luck. It's a number that is a representation of a renewal of energies, completeness or perfection, the day of rest, intuition, inward knowledge. When dealing with Metu Neter, when you get to the 7th stage of manifestation, it is an emphasis of the interdependence, a recognition of oneness in the midst of all their differences. When you get to the 7th stage of the faculty of man's spirit, still referring to Metu Neter, it is the faculty of imagination. The imagination is the coordinator of the subtle physical forces, and not a creature faculty. And then when you get to the 7th stage of the tree of life in the initiation system, sphere 7 is associated with Het Heru, and that brings the visualizations of one's desires, substituting pleasure for happiness or uplifting. Spheres 10 through 7 rep lower self-being. And then coming back to the initiation system, when you get to sphere 7 instead of stage 7, out of all the intense pleasures, man can experience only 2 can be induced, and that's ecstatic trance and orgasm. And there's rituals involving both. Also during this stage, one exercises their imagination. This stage makes completion of the initiation for the higher self. Now when you get to stage 7, level 3, sphere 3, that's dealing with Seker. And that involves a break from worldly interests. Psychic powers increase more when one is at a crossroads rather than meditation or rituals. We live selflessly rather than by our own personal goals. The world must cease to hold pleasures for us. The one pleasure is exhibiting the likeness of God. The trading of earthly pleasures for divine power. And I like that because we're dealing with the same system here, okay? We're dealing with the 10 stages of initiation. And this is in Metu Neter. And when you're at sphere 7, you're dealing with the trances that you induce amongst yourself, and those are physical things. The ecstatic trance, which is happiness, and orgasm, which is sex, and those are things that we do, and those are things that we indulge in. And I will say, like, you know, being present, we're kind of gluttonous with how we indulge in those 2 trances. We're always trying to indulge in happiness, and we're always trying to indulge in sexual behavior. Especially, like, you know, the younger we are. So, you know, that's being in of the world in this stage. You know, you're indulging in those trance, you're indulging in that, you're indulging in your imagination because you're trying to put yourself in that trance to bring you higher. But then when you get to stage 7, because when you were at sphere 7, you were only at level 3, so you were dealing with your lower self, you know what I mean? So then when you get to stage 7, you know, we done went up, you know, 4 stages or whatever. Now you're dealing with becoming one with God and realizing that you have to break free from the physical thing that you had to do to your lower self to get to this stage. So now you're kind of unifying your physical and your spiritual self. You're unifying your ability to be in the world and of the world. And that brings you back to the Pisces, two fish swimming in opposite direction, yet they're still a part of the same symbol. You're coming back to the Neptune and Jupiter as far as expansion and tradition. You're coming back to, you know, the two crescent moons and the line going through the middle, uniting those two moons. We're coming back to that duality. We're coming back to that number 2. And I think that's pretty dope. And that's from Metunetter. As far as the process of meditation, which is also in reference to Metunetter, this at stage 7, you're at medium mystic trance, identifying the deity you are seeking. You are visualizing yourself achieving or acting out your goal or desire to prepare yourself for the actuality of it. One also sees deities as one with themselves. Rather than calling on personalities or characters, one must call on all 7 complexes of men. So when you get to meditation at the stage of 7, you're uniting yourselves, all 7 of yourselves. You're uniting all your dualities and then some. You're uniting your physical selves with the spiritual selves, and you're realizing that they're one. So we're coming back to that duality, that bringing togetherness. And if you ever see a 777 anywhere, that means positivity is flowing towards you and through you. So now, we're gonna keep it going with Metunetter. The northeast is the direction of prayer from February 5th to March 21st, 3 a.m. to sunrise at Het Heru. Het is feminine, is receptive to animal spirit. Moon, which is cold and moist, and Mercury, which is cold and dry, and Venus, that's also cold and moist. That's what Het relates to. Heru is the sun, and it's masculine, and it's unreceptive to animal spirit, which is the lower spirit, and it deals with hot and dry. So again, we're dealing with the duality again. Pay attention to your dreams as you become moistened and dreams begin to emerge. They are signs of gestation of the beliefs you have accepted. To control your dream and manifestations, go into your personal will. To control your dreams and manifestations, go into medium mystic trance every night with what you wish to manifest. Your personal will must be in harmony with your true self, otherwise you will have bad dreams. To interpret your dreams, review the emotions you accept throughout your life. Your dreams are their gestation or messages from your true self, deities, ancestors regarding the course of your life. So this was a good time to listen to your dreams, interpret your dreams, go inward, be receptive, and reflect, which goes back to that Hangman card, as well as the High Priestess card about reflecting and getting all the pieces and interpretation and things like that, because those are symbols from yourself, your deities, and ancestors regarding the course of your life, where it has gone, where it's going, where it should be, etc. Ma'at is associated with this season. This is the 4th sphere that we're dealing with, which deals with the divine blueprint and the celestial administration. Again, coming back to the planet Jupiter, which rules over laws, justice, and tradition. This is, I want to say, is chapter 22 in Metunetter, when they go into the different netters and the signs and planets that are associated with that netter. The color associated with Ma'at is sky blue, which is spiritual Heka, open spaces, freedom, intuition, expansion, and wisdom. The other color is yellow, which deals with planetary Heka, personal power, abundance, concentration, and logic. The number 2 is associated with this season, which is the number of duality, coming back to the fishes, above and below, balance and harmony. The yellow sapphire stone helps with fulfilling dreams and desires of the consciousness. It is a stone of spiritual power and prosperity. The lapis lazuli, which is a blue stone, it provides protection to those in the afterlife. It brings clarity while meditating and manifesting, as well as self-expression. And tin is a metal of abundance, success, healing, and it prevents bacteria from forming. It's a lot of things that tin do. It's a lot of things that all metals do. I've been reading The Alchemist, and if you guys haven't been tuning into the YouTube page with The Alchemist, please tune in, because it's been pretty cool. But I want to look it up. But they were saying how, like, when you melt metal, the liquid part can cure anything. And then I always hear about colloidal silver and tin and platinum, and especially copper. They do a lot of good things for the body and for the blood and the bones and things like that. So I want to look deeper into that. But yeah, moving forward. So as far as like the herbalism goes, during this season in your bath, it's best to have thuja, THUJA, which is antibacterial. It helps with respiratory ailments and infections. It helps with relaxation. It helps with those who have trouble working and building with others. You also have anise, which helps with psychic and spiritual development. Honeysuckle is another one, which deals with immunity boost, aromatherapy. It's a detoxifier, digestion, and it enhances love and sexuality. It's also a flower of luck, prosperity, and psychic dreaming. I used to love honeysuckles. They used to have honeysuckles around the elementary school I used to go to when I would eat them, because what else do you do when you see trees that smell nice? You eat them, right? Yeah, the life of a first grader. The oils to utilize during this time is anise again, which it helps with psychic and spiritual development. Oak moss, which is an antiseptic. It deals with money spells, legal matters, meditation, and prosperity. And it's also the plant of immorality. The incense during this time is aloes, which help with stomach cleansing. It relieves wounds. It's good for topical, antifungal, and anise. I use aloe in my hair. I also advise people purchasing aloe leaves and Everclear and mixing the two, and that's a good homemade hand sanitizer. I use aloe as like twisting gel in my hair. It moisturizes my hair really nice for a long period of time. Oil kind of sits on top of my hair, and the aloe leaf helps kind of bring my stuff back together, my locks back together, because you see, they kind of just do whatever they want. I do my hair, and then the next day it's just like, no, that's not what we wanted, and then they just do whatever they want to do. And I'm at the point in my life now where I'm just like, you know what, do you guys, because I feel pretty either way. Whatever direction you guys are going, I still feel pretty. But anyway, the spiritual direction during this time is the southeast, and the mundane direction is the west. When mundane means don't go that way when you're trying to pray. The Piscean traits, according to Metu Netter, not me, Metu Netter. Positive traits, they're just, they're holistic, harmonious, they have a good sense of duality, they're law-abiding, they're fair and charitable. Some of the negative traits are they're greedy, negatively expansive, that's the Neptune, gotta keep that in check. Materialistic, unsocial, wasteful, and hypocritical, because that duality can be misinterpreted as hypocritical. Mental traits during this time. Some of the mental traits are they gain insight into things by unifying them with abstract analogies. They're philosophical, theoretical, and scientific. Some good careers for Pisces are judges, lawyers, theologians, people that believe in theology, and managers, because they are just and fair, and they're ruled by Jupiter, which is good with law and things like that. But artists, musicians, and things like that are also good for Neptune, especially like movie producers and television producers, because they're so expansive and imaginative, and they kind of defy the laws as well as make them. So they would make pretty good bosses. The colors associated with are emerald green, which is the color of growth, abundance, and fertility. Light yellow, which is the color of power, concentration, logic, and success. White, which is the color of innocence, peace, friendship, and spirituality. Pink, which is a combination of the color red, which is the color of passion, royalty, and leadership, plus white, which is the color of peace and friendship. So that's it for my references to Metu Netter. And for those who haven't read it, me and Ezekiel, my oldest son, we read Metu Netter together, and we did a book review on the Let's Nobody's YouTube page. So you could definitely check that out if you're interested. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading that book, and we would definitely be doing that again, because that was like really enjoyable. And I kind of incorporate that into everything I read now. Like, it was such a good like foundation book for me, and applying things, especially like with the zodiac readings I do, the other books that we have been reading, how I encounter people in life. It's definitely been a really good book. Anyway, moving forward, because we want to talk about where the planets have been. I know I'm talking in past tense, it's kind of sort of, because it's already happened, but Mercury rules decision-making mind and how one communicates and teaches and learns. Mercury, it was in Pisces from February 3rd to March 3rd. And during this time, one may have found an interest in art, mysticism, or psychology. Ideas and solutions form freely and easily. They may not feel that they are coming from you. Don't discredit or dismiss those thoughts. There is also great sensitivity. So all those dreams and things that you're interpreting, those don't dismiss or discredit those. They are coming from the ancestors. They are coming from you. They are coming from the energy around you. We know that Mercury was in retrograde from February 17th to March 10th. You had opportunities to remake your identity and unleash your new creative energy and expand, reaffirm your emotional commitments, and don't try to fix things unless it's necessary. This is not a retrograde to hide in, but to reflect on last year's retrograde and make necessary changes. I definitely saw myself doing that as I find myself coming more out of my shell and communicating with other people more and doing teamwork and all this stuff. I've been doing a lot of different things more. It's definitely utilized the retrograde to revamp myself so that I can work better with other people. And the outcome has been really, really good. Mercury entered Aquarius season on the 4th of March because, it was in retrograde. So it went so far back and went back to Aquarius. And then it was there from the 4th to the 16th. And then it went back. It's back in Pisces now. Venus rules over love and finances and what one is attracted to. Venus was in Aries from February 7th to March 4th. One may feel extreme passion and emotions, desire to spend irrationally. It was income tax time, so everybody was spending their money all crazy. Be mindful of how you spend and your behaviors towards things and beings you care about. Venus went into Taurus from March 5th and it'll be there until April 2nd. Positive influence on money matters, artistic expressions, indulging in beauty and physical things. And you may feel very affectionate in nature as Venus is in its home space, which is Taurus. That's pretty exciting. Mars rules over animal instincts and motivations, energy, desires, how you express yourself, what makes you angry, your level of anger, what makes you act, your ambition. Mars was in Capricorn from February 16th to March 29th. It'll be in Capricorn. And you will assert yourself in a practical, rational, disciplined, organized, effective, and efficient manner. Much of your energy is channeled into professional and social success, and on occasion you may be calculating, selfish, materialistic, and dismissive. And sexual relationships are not a priority at this time. On a personal level, I can agree with that. I can agree with all of that, kind of, sort of. Minus the sexual relationships with an S. Maybe just one, not both. Jupiter, it rules over generosity, tolerance, law, religion, tradition, order, business, expansion, and luck. Jupiter was in Capricorn since December 2nd, and that gives one the opportunity to develop a strong sense of duty, integrity, honesty, maturity, judgment, and there's a drive for importance and power. I definitely feel that. I'm ready to, I've just been building myself. That's what I've been doing nonstop. Saturn rules the restrictions, boundaries, depressions, and also distancing that one does. Saturn has been in Capricorn. And in order to succeed in your social position in the world, you have to gain knowledge and expertise that's associated with worldly power, status, achievement, and ability to deal effectively with authority. You should develop ambition, determination, and the capacity for having hard work in order to excel in your chosen career. Your deep need for financial security will provide necessary energy for success. One may fall too deep into the expectations of society, and one may completely rebel. So you can do one or two things under this. You can either fall too deep into expectations of society and do everything and just be that sheep, or you can completely rebel and not want to do anything. I'm in this space where I'm ready to completely rebel. I'm ready to completely go off grid. I'm ready to just do all these things and just be in my own bubble. But in order to do that, I have to learn the laws of the land. I have to learn to separate. I can't just play chess and play chess the way I want to play because that's the way I want to play. I have to learn the rules of the game first. I have to learn how the other players play first because I have to move around their pawns and their players and things like that. So that's definitely what I'm learning, and that's definitely what I've been applying lately. Yeah. So Uranus rules over individuality, progressiveness, change, a force to make one to do things in a new way or face truth about their ways. And Uranus has been in Taurus, and one will have clarity and insight on how to make changes or new direction. Disruption will occur through clinging to old value systems that are not in harmony with the new direction that we're going, which is definitely what's happening now. It's time to let go of a lot of these old things we've been clinging on to, and we're definitely in a space and time now where we have no choice. We have to let go of the things that we're used to so that we can readjust and adapt to what's happening and being present, and see where it goes from here. Neptune rules the subconscious, the dreams, inspiration, psychic sensitivity, the dimension of life that cannot be experienced by the five senses. And right now Neptune is in Pisces, and that brings about the energy of selflessness. One may feel the desire to be self-sacrificing, impressionable, and inspirational to others' energies, which has been happening plenty often. It may include codependency, passiveness, or being gullible. The power of prayer will be successful if given without expectation, which is something that's definitely emphasized in the Neptune. When you do things selflessly, the energy comes back different. It comes back better. Pluto rules over death and rebirth, destruction and healing, power and secrets. Pluto is in Capricorn, caution in all things. This brings on ambition and patience. Some may have to learn the hard way before they gain patience, and misuse and disruption of power comes to light. That's all that's happening while Pluto is in Capricorn. The new moon was on February 23rd. It was in Pisces, and that's the greatest sensitivity and perceptiveness of surroundings. You may feel strong feelings of insecurity. It's a good time to tap into one's imagination on that day. The full moon was on the 8th. It was in Virgo, and that was fun. I spent that weekend in ATO just producing, and it was cool because it was the worm moon, which is what my dad calls me. My dad calls me worm, so that was pretty cool. As the ground begins to thaw, earthworms begin to appear. Your feeling of safety is now related to order and clarity, even in emotions. You may feel the need to organize. Try to be more tolerant and accepting of life's imperfections. Trust life and let some expectations go. And that's definitely important, and it's definitely a beautiful and wonderful way to end the zodiac reading for Pisces season. Late but one time. At least it was for me. I don't know how it was for you. I don't know how it'll be for you when I finally post this, but this was late but one time. Trust life and let some expectations go. Especially as we go into Aries season that's coming up next, and that's the first season of the year. Yeah, we're gonna celebrate this new year in a couple of days. I'm gonna bring it in, and hopefully it's no fighting, because you know Aries is when the anger comes in. Be careful, guys. Make sure you get all your facts before you make decisions and make moves. A lot of people are afraid because they don't have control. It's okay to let go, because no matter whether we're in this life or in the next one, we're going to be fine. Alright, y'all. Check me out later in a couple days for that Aries season reading. I'll be on time for that one because I'm already in the mood. Peace and love.